What's up, Wreckers, and welcome to another episode of Choconaut Toy Reviews. Sometimes three idiots, a camera, and a review. I am Wilson.
I'm the Berg.
And in this episode, we are reviewing this guy. Who is he?
Mastermind Creations Reformatted Series R23 Dicamus Commander.
Or Dicamus to those people. So let's get right into it. As you can see, he's a Cybertronian, I guess, armored vehicle. Let's just go with armored.
Yes.
Yeah.
Looks reminiscent of the APC from Alien without the top gun turn.
What I like right off the bat is the wheels. As you know, Mr. Berg, I like the rubber wheels. I like the rubber. These ones are especially interesting because not the whole wheel is like solid rubber like you usually see. It's the outside of the wheel, and then the rest, the inside, is hollow and plastic. I think that's a nice way to kind of keep it light, but still give it that cool look that I like. It looks like a real tire.
Feels like a real tire.
It probably saves them money too, I would imagine.
Sure that's why.
Yeah. You don't have much paint. I like the colors and the color of plastic that they used. It looks exactly like the Roadbuster colors that you'd expect. But
very, very few paint apps. So you got some blue headlights, a little silver gunmetal gray in the windshield, side of the window. You got some gray piece there.
That's nicely painted though.
Yeah. And then the orange on what will be the inside of his knees is actually painted. It's pretty close to the actual plastic. There's a little slop right on this one, but I'm sure that's just your ones. Oh, and there's some orange stripes on your gun.
This really isn't that big of a deal. Probably can't even notice it on camera, and I definitely never noticed it until now. There's a slight coloration, but since that's his knee area, you'll never see it. Now, he's really good. He rolls really well. Again, love the tires. Can't get over that enough. He's pretty hefty still too, even with just being the plastic and everything. Still got a nice weight to him.
There's a lot of neat little sculpting bits that I'm sure repro labels will help pick out eventually. But yeah, he's not the most painted.
Yeah, that's the most unfortunate thing, is there's lots of good detail work on him, but you can't see it far away because there's virtually no paint.
And just so you can get a sense of scale, this is Voyager size Springer, Voyager size impactor, deluxe top spin. He's huge compared to them.
And he's actually made to scale with him.
Yes.
Right, because this is their impactor.
Yeah, this is.
I think he works with Springer quite well.
I think he works great with all three of them.
Yeah. We don't show transformations. Why don't we show transformations?
I don't know.
We don't show transformations because your time's valuable. Ours isn't, but we don't like wasting time. We don't like wasting your time. There are other people who can do it better. We just like to give an overview of the toy. We will talk about it a little bit if there's stuff that you need to know, but there are other places that do it better.
If you beg us, if we get 500 likes who all say, comment, show us transformations, we'll do one.
Here he is, Roadbuster himself. As for the transformation, it is very simple, and it is one of those ones. I'll just show you here.
Very similar to Impactor.
Yeah, very similar in Impactor. Basically, the leg folds apart like this and ends up going up against the side of his body up here. It's very easy, very actually intuitive, I find. You know, no big problems with it. I know people are complaining that it's the same old MMC engineering, but you know what? MMC gave us, it works. So first of all, don't fix what isn't broken. And second of all, they gave you new kind of engineering with Lockdown, Anubis, and everyone complained about it. To me, it seems like they're in a lose-lose situation. I like it. It's awesome. There's no new paint that you can see on him in this mode that wasn't in the truck mode. This is the only added paint right in his eyes there. It's kind of hard to see on camera. But yeah, other than that, same kind of deal.
Although we failed to mention there are silver paint apps on the guns.
Oh yeah. It's plastic that here on the chest has more of a glossy kind of look to it. Like, how do you feel about that gloss on the chest versus down here the kind of flat? Does that bother you at all?
It doesn't bother me, but I would have preferred if they had done it one way or the other.
Sure. His feet are interesting. They got toe bend this way and then ankle bend back that way. And this is because it's the same feet as Titanica?
It is the same mold as their earlier version, Titanica, and on Titanica, you're supposed to put the big
Foot front.
big foot forward, the wheels inside, and for him, you put the wheels outside, small foot forward. So essentially, he's got 2 front or 2 back.
Yeah.
And you can put it whichever way you like. I happen to prefer the big feet in front. As far as articulation, he's very articulated for the most part. He's got a ball jointed head, which is kind of hard to maneuver just because of he's got 2 giant neck pieces and a giant thing in the back, so you can't get Berg beefy fingers in there. But it does move. All of his joints are super, super nice and tight. Not too tight that I'm worried to break him, but you can't do his arms at 360 because his shoulder pads bump into the tires back here. You can move it around and adjust it long enough to get it there.
The shoulder pads are articulated separately from the arm themselves. The arms, which is I found interesting, is actually they're on a ball socket, ball hinge in there, which gives it the ability to not only move, forward and backwards a lot better. That helps you get his arm to move to the side.
But it's not a smooth.
No, not at all. No, it takes some fiddling.
He's got a bicep. He's got double joint elbows, which only get you 90. He's got, a thumb joint. All his fingers are sculpted like they look like they're separate, but they're just one piece. And you can swivel it around. Doesn't have an ab crunch, but he does have a waist swivel. He's got some soft ratchets that you can't even hear. They look like ratchets in there. He can kick forward. Got an annoying butt flap. He has double joint knees, so he can totally kick himself in the ass. That's also partially due to transformation. He does have a swivel at the mid calf that you can use to your advantage. Kick up, no down. Back foot and the front foot are articulated separately, so you can
I really like that.
Pose them however you need to get him to stand and get him a flat foot, front and back. You can move these a little bit. They're just on ball pegs, so you can move them around, help move these around.
That is one unfortunate thing is, while you can get him, like I don't have any problems getting him to move certain ways, it takes some finagling, and at times the backpack will come unhinged because he's so beefy, there's not a lot of space to work with sometimes. You know what they say, the less space, the more the cake. You know what I mean? There we go. You passed the Chakana 1 foot test, meaning what?
It's at least 1 hammer.
Yep. Ba-dong. Alright, so as for the accessories, I got mine from Planet Steel Express, meaning I got an extra rifle, which is this rifle. It's very similar to this one, only different in the gun muzzle. This one's got a round barrel. This is more of a flat laser kind of rifle. The thing with the standard rifle is you can take one of his grenade launchers, either of them work, and slide them over the end just like that, and you get more of a kind of silencer, blaster kind of look. And you, sir, found other combinations that you can do that I was not aware of.
There is a hole and a peg. Pop that on there. Get kind of more of a rocket grenade RPG look. The other one on there, so you can have double flamethrower murder action. And then, for the ultimate fan mode, super crazy sniper rifle murder death gun.
That's insane.
So if you were one of the few lucky ones to get the Planet Steel Express version that had this gun, you can do this.
He holds them fairly well in his hands. There's a slot down in the palm that you slide him into. I found if you get his thumb up near the handle of the rifle, that helps him stay in better. But again, moving him around and stuff, the ends knock into there, and they sometimes fall out. And also, the grenade launchers can clip up here like that, back into the arm on the side there. Much like Titanica, exactly like her. These pieces on his fists can turn into a mace, which when I originally saw the pictures, I thought it was a separate hand. But this is really just the covering to his fist, and it moves, it slides over the fingers. This is the stock head. This is the head that comes on him. This is the very G1 toy comic book head. I did not like the way it looked in the photos, and this just kind of isn't the Roadbuster that I'm used to now. For some size comparison, this is really all you need to see.
Yes.
Alright, just to get down to the bottom line, I give this guy, it's going to seem weird, you're going to give me a look, 4.5 out of 5 hammers.
Shocking! Oh!
I am going to have to panel line the shit out of this guy, alright? Because that's his biggest drawback, I believe, is the lack of paint. I cannot believe that Impactor has more paint on him than this guy, and this guy costs $20 to $30 more than Impactor. I feel like there's less here, but you're paying more money. I do like his accessories. He's got some good guns. Would I have liked a couple more? Probably. That would have been nice for that price, but it's not a huge deal. I can make more or give him others. The articulation is fine. He's big. He's brutish. I got the head that I like. The reason that I give him a 4.5, even with all those flaws, is he's just so much fun. I didn't like him originally when I saw him because of that head. Then they said, hey, look, here's the head you want, Wilson. Will you buy him now? I said, yeah, I totally will. He's just fun to play with. Now, what do I mean by play with?
I don't know. What do you mean?
When I say play with, I do not mean, hey, unless I'm with my son. What I mean by play with is move him around, pose them, set them up in action scenes. So if anybody's out there wondering what we mean by that, that's what Wilson means. Is there anything that you mean differently?
Actually, no.
Probably a little overpriced. I don't mind paying that price for this size figure, but I think they could have just thrown a little more in, and if they would have done that, it would have tipped him over to a 5 because he is extremely, extremely fun. I am not going to be putting this guy down anytime soon.
I'm going to give him a 1.
Okay. When's yours coming in? Is this a hardwood for you?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to give him a 3.5. The utter lack of paint or something, like, it really bothers me.
Yeah.
I don't know why. The main reason he gets a low score
3.5 is not low. I don't
is
think.
because of the shoulders. You have this magic touch where you can jigger them and they turn around and you're like, yeah, I cannot. The lack of paint really, really annoys me for some reason. Just something to break up this orange in his chest.
Yeah, I mean, even, I guess if you threw an Autobot symbol on there or a Wrecker symbol, that would help a little bit, but
Just throw
still.
a little splash of
Yeah.
blue right in that circle and
Totally.
I'll shut up and give you an
Yeah.
extra hammer. Make these giant wheels move just a little bit more.
Like slide down, maybe.
Yeah, or something. I get the sculpt, but his head's really hard to...
That may be due to me putting that on too tight, I don't know.
Okay. He's light years better than the Hasbro one, and he's more the size of what Roadbuster should be
Sure.
comparatively, in my mind.
I even like the way he looks. Like, we had all the Wreckers out there. I thought it looked perfect. Like, I really did. Even Cup looks smaller, but I didn't have a problem with that. I think they all looked great.
Cup should look small.
Yeah. And those things, I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but I'm assuming those things, minus the paint, are relatively, like,
No,
nitpicky kind of
yeah,
small
they're just-
things. And you still like them a lot.
Oh yeah, I'm totally getting one. So if you're a fan of the Wreckers, I recommend them. If you're a fan of Roadbuster, I recommend them. Got an extra $120? Send it my way.
Another good fine effort from MMC. Probably not their best, but we had fun
One
with
of their
them.
better.
One of their better for sure.
Yeah.
Like, dislike, subscribe, comment. You can see all of the stuff up here, down there, wherever. Share with your friends. We appreciate you watching if you sat all the way through it. Even if you sat through some of it, thank you. Until next time. My head, tarantulas.